the fight.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to From the Nosebleeds. I'm Joey Gunnar here with Trent Finnegan. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We had a lot to talk about yesterday because, of course, the Nuggets and Avs both had some games that they were looking to win. They both ended out with a W going out in the win column. Big game for the Avs. Really made a statement that they could send to the rest of the league. The Nuggets looked dominant once again on the road this time. But the Broncos have a problem as one of their best, if not their best, offensive playmaker. His status is up in the air. We don't know about J.K. Dobbins. He was not put on IR yesterday after a nasty hip drop tackle took him out of the game last weekend. Really unfortunate the way that went down, but the Broncos did not put him on IR, and they have yet to make a decision on if he'll be playing this weekend.
Yeah, and that's massive. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that J.K. Dobbins is their best offensive playmaker. I mean, this guy unlocked the run game that was dormant the last 2 years under Sean Payton. He's got 153 carries on the year. He's got 772 yards. He's been a total workhorse, and it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, he's not on IR yet. We'll see what the practice report says this afternoon. But if he's out, it's going to be a huge blow to this team because they're going to have to split the carries up between RJ Harvey, Tyler Beatty, maybe Jaleel McLaughlin finally get some run. But if he's out, I arguably think that's more important than Pat Surtain being out for the Broncos.
Oh, 110%. J.K. Dobbins is not only their best offensive playmaker, but probably their most important player on the entire field. And I don't think that that's insane to say at all. I mean, you look around the defense, yeah, you've got important players. PS2 being out is really, it hurts the defense. Nick Bonito, if he were to go out, that would be a big loss. But it's not like any one singular player changes up the Broncos defense. It's not like one singular player brings them from the best defense in the league to the worst defense in the league. Where if you look at the offense, if Bo Nix were to go out, I'd have confidence that Jared Stidham could play just as well. Any of the receivers, I'd have confidence that all of the receivers can play at the same level as each other. However, the one consistent point of the offense has been J.K. Dobbins. He's been the only piece on this team that hasn't had a good and bad game right next to each other. He's been incredibly consistent, incredibly important. This offense does not run without the run game, which is incredible to say because what we saw last year was a terrible run game for the Broncos, and now it's what's keeping them alive offensively. J.K. Dobbins being out is, if he were to go out, would be the biggest blow possible to this team anywhere in the season. And now, if it continues to go down the road, we lose him for the playoffs, that would be a pain. But losing him right now, not the end of the world.
Yeah, and I'm curious what you think of how these carries get split up. Because, again, so he's got 153. RJ Harvey has 50. Bo Nix has 47. And then you go down, Beatty only has 2. McLaughlin has 1. So, not Harvey. Dobbins has been averaging 15.3 carries per game. Do you think 12 of those go to Harvey? Do you think they really roll back the run game and try and lean more into maybe some quick games, some extended runs, like a screen or a flat route or whatnot? Like how do you think Sean Payton is going to split these carries up if Dobbins can't go?
I don't think that they have the luxury of going away from the run game. It would be different if we had seen Bo Nix throughout the season be successful in the passing game, but we haven't seen that very much. We haven't. If you were to have continuous success, be able to beat teams like the Jets and the Raiders through the air, then yeah, we would see the snap count on the run game drop heavily in a situation like this. But I don't think that they have the luxury of going away from the run game because that's their only success that they've been able to find. That's it. It's J.K. Dobbins. And if it's not J.K. Dobbins, then RJ Harvey's catching a ball in the flat route and he's going down. The running backs have been incredible so far. So I would probably be like, I think the 12 snaps for RJ Harvey is probably a good number. And then you might see 3 maybe this week go to Bidet. But
and I agree with you. Like obviously, like the screens are an option because it's an easy way that's practically a run. But this team hasn't really had great success on the screens this year. Then they run a screen on first down. He's in there in second and long and whatnot. And here's my thing. You went out and got a running back in the second round, an RJ Harvey, a guy who ran for 1,500 yards at UCF last year, a guy who was dominant at UCF. This is his time. If they don't give him 15 carries on Sunday, then what are the Broncos doing? Why did they spend a second round pick on this guy? I get it that like, oh, he's a good in the pass catching game. Yeah, he's great, but he's a running back. You need him to step up. And I'm not saying he should get 15 carries, but he's only averaging 5 carries per game right now. It's got to go up to at least 10, hopefully 12. But if they don't lean on Harvey, why did you pick him in the second round?
That's exactly right. But let me ask, do you think it's a trust thing? Do you think that maybe they're looking at J.K. Dobbins more as like a veteran that could come in? Or are they hoping that RJ Harvey would have had more success earlier in the season through training camp and preseason and those early games, and he just hasn't shown that success yet?
I think it's a trust thing because we know Harvey like has the ability to break off a big chunk, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. We've seen it this year. He just hasn't got many opportunities. And this wouldn't be the first player Sean Payton doesn't trust on offense because he clearly does not trust Bo Nix.
He does not trust
for at least the first 3 quarters. So it's not like Sean Payton not trusting his guys is a new thing. He already doesn't trust his quarterback, or else we wouldn't be having these conversations of why he's 18 for 37, So I would not be surprised at all if, you don't trust your young quarterback. Oh, and now you don't trust your young running back. Oh, and guess what? You spent a first and a second round pick on them. So why are you spending these high draft picks on these guys if you don't trust them on Sundays? It makes no sense to me.
I mean, I don't disagree with you at all. From the moment the Broncos drafted RJ Harvey, I was not a fan. I feel like I've been pretty apparent on that on this show. Any show that I've joined here, I wasn't the biggest RJ Harvey fan, but I did make sure to say every time I was talking about him in the offseason specifically that I hope he proves me wrong. That's the number one thing. I want him to prove me wrong, and this is his chance to prove me wrong. If J.K. Dobbins isn't playing, RJ Harvey is going up against the Chiefs, and they need this win. And the run game has been as consistent as can be for the Broncos. The biggest glowing spot on the Broncos that's been successful is the run game. If he can carry that load, if he can pick up from where J.K. Dobbins left off and get a win against Kansas City, then he would have proved me wrong. If RJ can prove me wrong this weekend, I will be so happy. But I don't know. Do you see that happening up against the Chiefs? Do you see RJ Harvey being able to carry that load that J.K. Dobbins left on the field?
Nobody in that room is going to be able to carry that load J.K. Dobbins carries. It's J.K. Dobbins is one of the most underrated players in football right now. And a lot of people paid attention to, look at Javonte Williams. He's away from the Broncos, and now he's doing this thing. J.K. Dobbins is averaging 5 yards per carry, and Javonte Williams is averaging 5.2 yards per carry. And Javonte's got more touchdowns because he's getting the ball on the goal line, while Sean Payton wants Bo Nix to get more touchdowns. So he feeds Bo Nix in the passing game on the goal line. But J.K. Dobbins has been so underrated. He's been so underrated his whole career, and it's been derailed by all these injuries. But he's so good at finding a crease that, maybe an RJ Harvey would only get 1 to 2 yards on this carry. But Dobbins has shown the ability time and time again, hey, if I am a half tick late, aka I'm patient on this run, maybe this crease will open to my right, and I can turn this 2-yard gain into a 5-yard gain. I think that's so underrated about Dobbins' game is his ability to find these tight creases in between the tackles. And he's been what the Broncos need, and there's nobody in that room that's going to be able to replicate what he does. I'm curious if they give Bo Nix more carries, because we've seen when they use Bo Nix and sparingly, they ran that pin and pull sweep with the running back going the other way in disguise. They've run that a couple times, had success on it. I wonder if they lean on Bo more. Obviously, you don't want them to lean on Bo too much, and then you end up with Jackson Dart, who's in concussion protocol for the 4th time because he runs the ball too much.
Learn how to slide, Jackson. Learn how to slide.
But I am curious if Dobbins were to be out, I think he's going to be out. I think it's the safe thing to keep him out because then you get almost a full month of rest. I think you really got to trust Knicks, you got to trust Harvey, and if the run game can't get going, then you better hope that Bo Nix brought his A game that he didn't have against Vegas.
Saying you got to trust Knicks and trust Harvey right now is like putting on a blindfold and saying, just jump. You'll see if you, we won't tell you if there's a cliff in front of you. Just jump and you'll find out. I don't know how much trust I really have in those two guys right now. And it sucks because I did before the season. Like, I had so much trust in Bo Nix. Like, what we saw from him last year was incredible. Every single one of us had trust. And now, not even Sean Payton seems to have trust in Bo Nix. If they really want to be successful, you got to open up that playbook in the first quarter. Take the training wheels off, as Trent likes to say. Take those training wheels off.
Please.
You're going up against the Chiefs. This is no time to continue playing the way that you have, because clearly it hasn't been working that well if you're barely squeaking out these wins. And again, I don't know how many more times I could say it. The Broncos are 8-2. Their 2 losses have come off of last-second field goals, and one of them was a retry. So they're clearly doing something successful, but why doesn't it feel like it?
Because they lead the league in punts. 53 punts, they lead the league. And I know that they've played 10 games and some teams have only played 9 games, but still, 53 punts is 53 punts. That's over 5 a game. And I get it that you're 8-2. They're 8-2 because this defense is out of this world. And not having Dobbins is not going to help the 5.3 punts per game number. I can tell you that right now.
No, it's not. It is going to make it much, much worse. And that's something that they can't afford to do up against the Chiefs. If they punt 5 times this week against the Chiefs, just stop watching the game. Just turn it off. If the Broncos punt 5 times this week, then there is no hope. I know that the Chiefs are going up against the best defense in the league, but it's still Patrick Mahomes. I'll never count out Patrick Mahomes, ever.
And it's Andy Reid off a bye. Andy Reid, do you know what Andy Reid's record coming off a bye week is in his career?
I do. Yeah.
22-4. 22-4.
Jesus.
Counting the playoff buys that he's gotten. It's ridiculous.
And I'd love to see what the buys look like coming off a bye week, and the week before that was a loss. I guarantee you he hasn't lost coming off of a loss and a bye week. You know, because last time you saw them playing, they lost to the Bills. They get a bye week, and now they're going to Denver, where they play once a year, every single year. This is not a real road game for them. They're coming one state over and playing in a city that has a bunch of Chiefs fans. Like, there's going to be a bunch of Chiefs fans at Empower Field, and it's a hard place to play, sure, but this is not going to be like going to Arrowhead in January. This is an entirely different game. Like, the Chiefs have a real chance to do something here, and you know that they're all talking about that right now on the Kansas City talk shows. They're talking about what the Chiefs can do this week, and they're probably looking at J.K. Dobbins being questionable for this weekend and saying, all right, this is our time to get back on track, because their best, most efficient, most reliable player might be out for the game. It's scary.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. So we got a comment in here from Roger Bruce saying that Payton's been limiting the playbook, so there's not a whole lot on film.
No.
I think you could get away with that given how good this defense is, but it gets to a point where it's like, hey, if your offense is struggling this much, we got to open the playbook a little bit. So I really hope that's not true. I do think that could be a possibility of that. Hey, maybe Sean's waiting until December and January to really, really break out the good stuff. But I hope not, because this offense looks lethargic out there, and they need to expand that playbook a little bit.
No, that sounds, I disagree. That sounds like some copium. Like, that doesn't sound right. And why would they be limiting the playbook for Kansas City, who's 3rd in the AFC West right now?
That's the thing.
They would be limiting it.
You can't limit anything for KC. I guess what he's trying to say is they're limiting what they have on film heading into Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but that seems like such a weird game to play. And I get, Sean Payton plays weird little games. He does. He plays weird little games.
Yeah, one of them's called Bounty Gate.
Yeah, never forget. It was Brett Favre's season. But weird games, I highly doubt that, because that's just not good football. That's not smart football. You shouldn't be scared of what teams have on you, because you should be confident that your team can still break down any defense in the league. But I mean, is that really going to change anything? Oh, they don't have this play on film. There's still NFL players. They know how to guard a man in man coverage. Like, they know how to play zone coverage. It's not going to really change much. You'll find gaps, but I won't believe that until I see the playbook get opened in the first quarter. Like, if the Broncos can actually have a successful first quarter up against the Chiefs, then maybe, Roger, maybe I'll say you are right. But until I see that up against the Chiefs, I don't know if I believe that at all. I mean, it doesn't sound like good football to me. But we should move on because the Nuggets looked great yesterday. Once again, they extend their win streak to 5. Nikola Jokic, extraordinary. Once again, just incredible performances all around, beating the Kings 122-108 in Sacramento. They're now 2-0 against the Kings this season. Let Nick Clifford and Russell Westbrook know where they should have gone or should have stayed for both of them. But a great game for the Nuggets yesterday. They look really, really good right now.
Yeah, and so Jokic just oh no, he didn't get the triple-double this time.
No, he didn't.
But he still shot 16 for 19 from the field, which is ridiculous. 84%. He's got 35 points, 15 boards, 7 assists. He only took 2 threes. I'm going to harp on this all season. When he doesn't take a lot of threes, that's when the Nuggets are at their best.
Yeah.
I want to focus on the bench, though. The bench won them this game. And, the starters were good. Everyone was at least a plus 11. They were fine. Cam Johnson still can't hit a shot. I want to focus on the bench because the bench took over early in that fourth quarter and pushed that lead. And it feels very 2023-ish where this team, they can play, and then boom, level goes up. And then they're blowing the other team out of the water. The starters can do that and the bench can do that. And it's phenomenal to see it. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr., I was happy with him again. He keeps letting the ball fly. He hit a couple of contested threes. He was only 2 for 6. But Bruce Brown, 5 for 8. He's got 14. Valanciunas, 10 and 7 in 15 minutes. Like, the bench, it's so hard to, emphasize how valuable this bench is and how good this bench is because it's not the first time this season that they've really helped push a lead late in the second half of a game. And the Nuggets are going to need that time and time again this season because we know how great the starting lineup is. You can't rely on the starting lineup to do every single thing. We saw it last year. It didn't work.
We've seen it for the past 3 years.
Exactly.
Since a championship team.
So when you have a bench that can really elevate their game for just 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but boom, you get this 16-2 run or whatever last night. It's so important how much better this bench is this year. And it's Bruce Brown, it's Tim Hardaway, it's Payton Watson, it's Valanciunas, it's all of them.
Yeah, it feels, before the season started, everybody was like, I know I was part of it. This team felt like a better crafted team than the 2023 championship squad, and they're playing like it. I mean, when was the last time you saw the players on the bench recording plus 10 in the box score? Like, it doesn't happen for the Nuggets. It hasn't. For the past couple of years, that isn't something that we've gotten used to. National media outlets, what has been their one critique on the Nuggets, especially in these past 2 years? The lack of depth. The lack of depth on the bench. That's the reason everybody was counting out the Nuggets against OKC. Now, they still ended up bringing a Game 7 and holding a 10-point lead at one point in that game. But what happens as soon as Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray step off the floor? That 10-point lead dissipates, and you end up losing in Game 7 in the second round for the second year in a row. That's not going to happen this year because you have your bench players. You have Jonas Valanciunas, who I feel 100% confident in playing entire games. I hope that Nikola Jokic can get a rest some games. I don't want him to have to play all 82 games and 26 minutes per game. Give the man some rest. Play 72 games. That's it. Take 10 games off. Get a little bit of rest. Towards the end of the season, the Nuggets should be in a position where they're hopefully opposite of the Thunder in the playoff bracket, and they can get their players to get some rest because I trust Jonas Valanciunas. I trust Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown, Cam Johnson. As much as he's had struggles shooting the 3 ball, I still trust him to do the unsaid stuff. I have trust in this team to win a finals this year. It's been incredible to watch so far.
Yeah, and so last night, Jokic goes to the bench after the end of the third quarter, which is normal. They're up 3. The Kings cut the lead really quick to 85-84. So Nuggets are only up 1, 13 seconds into the fourth quarter. From that point on, the lineup of Jamal Murray, Valanciunas, Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway, and Peyton Watson played the next 7 minutes. No Jokic, no Gordon. And they pushed the lead as high as 106 to 89 with 5:39 left. With Jokic and Gordon on the bench.
And that's exactly what I was saying yesterday with Jamal Murray, where he comes in the second half and he'll just hit those threes and expand the lead.
So that's exactly what they need. You only need Jokic to play 5 minutes in the fourth quarter when it was pretty much tied at the end of the third. And then Jokic comes in
absurd
down the stretch. And then down the stretch, I thought it was hilarious where the Kings are like making their last push. And Jokic walks up, he walks the ball up, he gets a screen from Murray, and the Kings go under. He just pops a three, nothing but net, comes down, rage baits Drew Eubanks into committing an offensive foul,
gets the ball back,
brings the ball back up the floor, and looks it to Bruce Brown in the corner, and the whole world knew that shot was going in. So you didn't need Jokic for 12 minutes. You only need him for 5 minutes in that fourth quarter, and he was still amazing. And it's just so nice to see. And I get that the Kings are not a good basketball team. They're 3-8, but the bench. It's so awesome how good this bench is this year. And if they can win a championship, it's going to be because of the bench.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Kings in the final minute, I believe, final 2 minutes, they were down by 5. And then within the final minute, 3 straight threes for the Nuggets. A 9-0 run seals the game. Nikola Jokic, then Bruce Brown, and then Christian Brown at the final shot of the game. Just incredible composure. They know how to close out games better than I've seen the Nuggets in any years prior. They were incredible last night. And you know who else was incredible last night? The freaking Avalanche. There was a bunch of stuff to talk about with the Avs yesterday. Most importantly, actually, I can't even say what's most important. But first off, they beat the Anaheim Ducks. They sent a message to the rest of the league that they are the best team in the NHL. The second best team, the Anaheim Ducks, were beat 4-1 yesterday. Incredible performance from the Avs.
Yeah, and I want to highlight, we got to highlight Gabe Landeskog.
Yep, that was going to be my second most important.
He got the Nichushkin gets the puck right in the slot, gets the rebound off the pad, and Landeskog does what he does best, just camping at the net, tips it in. And I instantly looked for the ref. I was like, where's the offsides? Where's the penalty? I'm like, what weird stuff is going on? And it was so good to see him not have his goal taken away. But, just another night at the office. I mean, McKinnon's got 3 assists. Makar still had an assist. Landeskog gets his goal. Arturi Lehkonen was amazing. Parker Kelly was really good down in the bottom 6. It was just and Nets just got a goal. Nets just had been a little quiet after the contract extension.
He these past week and a half has been a little quiet from Nets.
But they had a good power play where McKinnon throws it in, it goes off Lehkonen, then Nets is just sitting on the doorstep, just tips it in. So I was happy. The first power play was really bad, and I was like, oh goodness, it's not great. They only went 1 for 4, but the one where Nets scored, I thought it was a really good process. They had another power play where you could see the process was good, and they were getting some good looks that just wasn't finding the back of the net. So, and Scott Wedgwood he was making some amazing saves. 35 saves, 36 shots, 1 goal allowed, 972 save percentage. And there were plenty of times where it wasn't, the defense is playing well and, a puck gets in. He was having to make a couple glove saves. He's got a guy coming over here and then quick turn to the left. He was playing great. It was phenomenal to see Wedgwood rise up to the occasion. It looked like he almost got hurt there for a minute. He got just kind of rolled up on when an Anaheim player was going 1,000 miles an hour into the net. But just a great all-around performance. And, Anaheim, first in their division, everyone was like, all right, how serious is Anaheim? Second in the league. And it's not that Anaheim is a bad team. I'm not trying to say it. This is still a good team. But the Avalanche, like you said, they sent the message. They're like, hey, we're the top dog. We're the top dog here, and we're going to play like it. Oh, you got this second-best team in the league coming in? 4-1. Great stuff.
Great stuff. And that was Gabe's first goal in the regular season since March 5th, 2022, 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago. Insane. So great to see him back out there. But of course, something bigger came out for the Avs in the morning, and that's Gavin Brindley and how he signed a 2-year extension. That's pretty big. Gavin Brindley is a young forward who's going out there, and he's had a couple great games. You called him out as the X factor yesterday, and a couple hours after that, he signs an extension. That's pretty big. That's pretty big.
And the big thing about it is the Avalanche got a steal on it. Brindley's first contract in the league was 3 years, an average annual value of $950,000. This extension is 2 years for an average annual value of $875,000.
Yeah.
I have no idea how the Avalanche got him and his agent to go down $75,000, but
I know how.
in the city will take it.
I know how. They told him, "Hey, you want to stay here?
Yeah,
you want to stay here? You want a ring?" That's
just a great deal. He's been such a blessing in the bottom six. He's 21 years old. You could see he's got so much raw talent. And I feel like a lot of people, so he came over in that salary dump with Columbus when the Avs sent Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle over there.
Coyle and Wood got in.
And everyone was like, everyone's like, I got this 21-year-old. And like, this guy's talented. Like this guy's really good. The Avs won that trade, in my opinion. You got a super young guy who had key depth to the bottom six. And you see him when he's got the puck on his stick, like you could see it last night. Like he's got some pep in his step. He's got some juice when the puck's in his hand. It flies off his stick. He's making good plays. He's pushing it up the ice. It's been really fun to watch him. It's been great. And there is one other thing from last night that was not good. Val Nichushkin got a lower body injury, still being evaluated. We know how hockey injuries go. We know how Jared Bednar goes. He'll say, lower body, and then nothing else. But definitely something to monitor. Val Nichushkin could be out for a little bit, could be out for not at all, could be out for a while. No idea how serious it is, but definitely an injury to monitor because we know how important Big Val is to that offense.
Incredibly important. It would be a terrible loss if the Avs lose him for over anything more than a week. Yes. But a great night overall from the Ball Arena teams, the Nuggets and the Avs. I'm so serious. This feels like the year. We've talked about it. This feels like the year. Both atop the league. The Nuggets looking real good, 8-2. The Avs obviously playing at a really, really high level, 11-1-5. Neither of them have regulation losses at home. Neither do the Broncos. Just incredible what's going on in Denver right now. But moving away from Denver, it's a waiver wire Wednesday. So let's talk about some players that you should be watching around the league. I'll start us off, and let's actually bring it back to Denver for a second because I got RJ Harvey as my first pick. The Broncos obviously have one consistent thing in their game, as we just talked about, the run game. So if J.K. Dobbins is out, we're just talking about how RJ Harvey's numbers are going to go up, whether it's in the run game or in the pass game where he's been targeted and been honestly pretty successful in the passing game. So if you have a chance, go grab him or make sure to be watching him this week. Trent, what's your first pick?
I'm going to keep it on the running back front. I'm liking Amari DiMercato for the Cardinals. I feel like I just keep rotating through this Cardinals backfield because people keep getting hurt or whatnot, but he had 4 targets last week. He averaged 16 yards per carry against a good Seahawks defense. I know he broke a long one for 55 yards, but he's got that big play ability. He's getting targets. That's a tough one. The running back pool's getting thin out there, but I think that's a good – if you really need a flex, if you're in a league with 2 flexes, I do think that DiMercato could be an option just because of the passing game.
Yep. Yeah, I like that pick a lot. My second pick is Calvin Austin. I like this one a lot. In his past 3 games, he's had 6, 6, and 7 targets, and he's going up against Cincinnati, and we know how bad Cincinnati's defense is. If he can reel in just half of those targets, I'd expect him to have a real successful day. He looked pretty good last week, and I expect it to keep rolling into this week. What's your next one?
Number 2, Dalton Schultz, Texans tight end, and he's really become Davis Mills' best friend out there after CJ Stroud suffered that concussion in the Broncos game. Last 4 weeks for Dalton Schultz, 10 targets, 3 targets, 8 targets, 11 targets. Mills has been relying on him. I assume Stroud will keep – even Stroud is getting around 6 targets a game, So I think that he's a really good safety blanket. I couldn't believe he was available in a couple of my leagues that I'm in. I was like, holy cow, I need to get this guy up. So if he's out there, he's been getting a lot of targets. I really think that he's a good waiver pickup. And I'm going to be picking him up in a couple of my leagues because I am struggling with some tight end injuries for sure. But I like your last one. Your last one's an interesting pick.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see this.
Yeah. Blake Corum, the Rams running back. I only say this because I'm out there looking for Kyren Williams, and I feel like half of the time it's Blake Corum out there. In the past 3 games, he's had 12 carries or more. So the Rams are using him more than you'd think, and they're honestly using him as a sort of split back between him and Kyren. He's been getting a lot of touches in the midfield, and it feels like he could break out one of these for a big run or even a touchdown coming up. Sometimes they're using him the third down back towards the goal line. It really just depends. It seems like they're just flipping a quarter to see who's going to be out there, Kyren Williams or Blake Corum. So I'd expect him to have a big weekend this weekend. He's had a couple really good ones so far this season.
And then my last one, I'm going to keep it kind of similar to you, just over on the East Coast. Another second-string running back who, when you're watching the game, you're looking for the starter, the backup's always in, and it's Tyler Algier for the Atlanta Falcons. Bijan Robinson is the second-best running back in football. I'm sorry. And yet, the Falcons have this obsession with Tyler Algier. I mean, he had 11 carries last week and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And when they were in goal-to-goal situations, Bijan's on the bench and Algier's in there, and he got both his touchdowns. And it's frustrating because a lot of people pick Bijan with the first overall pick, and yet Algier has had
that sounds like something
carries.
You might have done.
It was 10 carries, 16 carries, 16 carries, 10 carries. So in 5 games, Algier's had at least 10 carries, and I don't know why. Incredible. They lean on him so much, but they do. And he's a good guy. He's a good back, and he scores touchdowns. He finds the end zone. So It's risky because he's a backup. So, he might just get 3 carries one week, but he might get 12 and 3 goal line touches, and he gets a touchdown. So that was a little riskier, but they've shown that they want to lean on him a lot recently.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like those picks. So make sure to be watching those guys this weekend. I do want to read some of your comments. You guys are really filling it up in the comments section. No screens, LOL. The screens, at least not on third down. I can't do any more screens on third down. I just won't. I cannot do it anymore. Good morning, Roy. Always good to see you up in the chat. Good morning, Joey and Trent. I don't see us beating the Chiefs without JK, but I really don't think it's a must win. I don't know if it's a must win for the Broncos, but it's definitely a must win for the Chiefs. Do you think it's a must win for the Broncos, Trent?
I think it's a must win. I don't think the game in Arrowhead on Christmas would be a must win. If they lose, they got to win one of them. They got to win one of them, because if they lose this, they're 8-3. The Chargers are going to be able to go to 8-3, and then they'd overtake the Broncos because they have the head-to-head in first place, and the Chiefs would be 6-4 right there. You can't give the Chiefs any room. You got to take advantage of being at home and win this game.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. See it as a must win. I can see both sides. It's definitely more of a must win for the Chiefs than it is for the Broncos, in my opinion.
Yes.
Look at Javonte. He's been behind a real O-line. That's why he has success. It's not our backs. Okay. So you're blaming it more on the offensive line rather than
same
Javonte
yards per carry as JK this year.
Yeah, I mean, they both look great. I'll give you that.
They both look great. Yeah,
I'm
not trying to discredit anyone. Yeah.
I'd probably rather have JK than Javonte, though. I love Javonte, but I'd rather have JK. J.K. Dobbins will play Sunday. Do you think that's just like hoping, or Bob's got the inside scoop? Bob's got the inside scoop.
Bob's got the inside scoop.
We won't know until tonight, correct, Trent? They're going to release the early
injury report tonight,
3
or 4 p.m. probably. We'll see. We'll at least get the practice report. I don't know if he'll go on IR today, but that first
and he wasn't put on IR yesterday, so that's great.
So that, I'm not saying we'll know his game stats, but that practice report will tell a lot. I assume he'll be out today. I don't know, but that will be the big tell for what's going to happen.
If he's out today, I would say he's not going to play on Sunday. If he's limited today, then it's more up in the air, if you will. But I doubt he'll be limited. I really doubt he's going to be in. I believe he's going to be out. That just seems like the likely scenario. Even if they do plan on playing him, I would say keep him out for today, just to let him heal up a little bit, because know those foot injuries are never good.
No.
This is what we were talking about earlier. Payton has been putting out vanilla crap plays so that KC has no game plan against us. I see what you're saying, Roger. I just don't. Again, that's not good coaching. That's not good coaching. Why would you limit your plays And if you're in these positions where like we've seen the Broncos be in positions where they're behind in games in the fourth quarter so many times, why would you actively try to put yourself in that position, right? Like, why would you actively hold back your best
That's the
plays?
thing. Like, I get it. I get it if your offense is humming and you're rolling with the day one installs. This offense isn't humming. You got to pull out all the stops. You got to pull out all the stops to beat the Raiders, which is crazy to say, but I mean, I would see it for a team like Seattle where they're just rolling and rolling and rolling, but this team has been struggling way too much to keep rolling out the 25% of the playbook or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. The Denver Nuggets are off to a great start. Hope they keep winning and our bench keeps playing well. I'm right there with you, Kyle. Like, this team looks insane. I mean, the Nuggets are going to win it all this year. They seriously are. And we're talking about both these teams, the Nuggets and the Avs. I can't tell you which one is more likely to win it all because they both look insane. But the Nuggets are just incredible this season. Just incredible, Trent.
Incredible.
I mean, what we've been seeing is so much. Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. Just fun to watch. Good basketball to watch. All right, but that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll be back with y'all tomorrow. Of course, we're getting closer and closer to Broncos versus Kansas City. Huge matchup, the biggest of the year. The Nuggets and the Avs continue to play, and they look amazing when they do. And we'll see more about the Buffs coming up next weekend. Actually, they don't play this weekend. I was going to talk about the Buffs, but they don't play this weekend. Got a little bye. So nothing to talk about with the Buffs. Honestly, that might be good news. But that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.